Hi, my name's Jay.
And I'm Kat.
And today we're doing... Oh, fine, you do it then. What are we doing? Tell them, quick, tell them.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Which is an offshoot of this game. In this game, there's something called The Adventures of Toad, or Adventure Time, or Toad's Wild Sex Ride.
Toad.
Whatever it was in this game, and then they said, well, you know, let's take it out of that and turn it into its own DLC and disc release.
Bigger, longer.
Yes, just like this down here. Now, this is $39.99. Not this game. Well, this game might be on sale, but the Toad Tracker game is $39.99 on the system. You can download it right to your Wii U on the 5th or 7th of this month. I don't even know. We're
and
in
it's
December.
a puzzle platformer, so if you're a big fan of that, it's great.
Now, the second thing I should say, this is the second time in 20 years you could play as Toad.
Wario Woods was the first one. That was like 20 years ago or something crazy.
And as always, we ask you guys questions. That doesn't make sense. I asked you guys to ask me questions about the game as usual, so let's get to the first one. Thank you for asking the questions and all the, love. You guys are amazing about the, the Little Big Planet review and how upset we were and all that stuff, but commenting is very important. So comment on this, let us know how we're doing. First question is from my cousin,
Angela G.
Yep, go.
Galati.
Which thing?
How many players can you play at a time? Good family game for game night. And what is the purpose of the story?
Tell you the story in a second. First thing up, I'll answer. How many players can play at once? One. So,
well, 2 if someone's using the gamepad.
that doesn't make sense. 1 player can hold the gamepad and play the game.
Yeah.
You drunk lunatic. 1. Well, okay, fine. Give your point. Say 1.
Okay, well, someone can play with you and they can stop the enemies, or they can show, like, hidden items. So if they press on the bad guys, it stops them or slows them down. So it can be useful. And also, I like to have 2 players because I find I get really irritated when I play puzzle games at a certain point when they get difficult when you're far enough in it. So I like to switch out. Give it to someone else to play, and then I play. You
Are you talking about the game or your bed life?
Both.
Good family game night, family. She asked
Same
that.
way.
Is it good to play with your family? Well, the good news is what she just said applies to that. So if you have like little Timmy in the corner who you haven't like fed and he lives in a vent, you could pass him the controller when you want to smash it because Toad won't go down the ladder quick enough, but it's your own fault because you suck. Give it to Timmy over there and say, Timmy, here's your fucking 1 game that you get to play once per year, you piece of shit!
You should never have children. As for the story, this takes place as Captain Toad and Toadette are off treasure hunting, so they're trying to find coins and shiny things and a power star. And as they're doing this, feathers suddenly start dropping from above, and Wingo appears, bum bum bum, and he takes the big power star and he takes Toadette, and then Toad has to go rescue her.
What a son of a bitch bird!
Right? This happens in all
What's
of Mario
with
games. So
fucking
the chick
birds lately?
gets stolen and the dude has to go save her. Nintendo's so sexist.
No, they're not. Is Nintendo sexist? Comment below. I don't know what that means. What? Because all the women get... No, because in the second
And have to
chapter...
be saved by the fucking men.
Yeah, in the second chapter you have to save the man.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, are they sexist still?
No.
Okay. Next question is from the lovely Alyssa White.
White once more. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Will this game
I love
appeal
the
to
way you-
gamers who are not fans of Mario Brothers franchise?
Okay, here's the deal with this. If you don't like Super Mario Brothers, you probably shouldn't download this game because it's set within a Super Mario universe. At the end of the game, something amazing happens. I can't tell you that, but I'll give you a hint. I threw it over here.
Stop throwing the game away, man.
Here's a hint. Something happens at the end of the game that segues into this game. Well, that was a hint. And the other thing is, if you don't like stealth, if you don't like figuring out patterns in enemies, if you don't like figuring out actual puzzles, like how the hell do I do this?
It's a puzzle game.
It's a puzzle game. So yes, of course, you gotta like puzzle games, you gotta like stealth games.
You gotta like the Wii U
gotta
controller.
like the Wii U gamepad because it's very important in this game. The Wii U gamepad is used for many different things, and I'll just give you an example of a few. You can touch the gamepad onto the enemies just like you could do in Super Mario 3D World and stop them in their tracks. You could smash bricks in this game with the Wii U gamepad. You can blow into the microphone, you can blow something else, but in the game you can blow it and it moves platforms. And then what else can you do
I love
with
that feature. It's so cute.
Yeah, I know you love blowing. What else can you do? Anything else? You don't know. You got nothing. Okay, so let's talk about the gameplay really quickly. You play as Toad, obviously. He's got a little bit of a jump impediment. He can't jump in this game.
I can't jump. That's very... When you first start playing, you're like, okay, and I'll just hop over... Oh, I'll die by that enemy.
You can't do it. So he does have the ability to do a little bit of a run. I wouldn't say that it's like a quick run. It hardly makes a difference, but it does come into play later in the game when you have to run away from an enemy that is chasing you. I don't want to give it away, but it's something cool. The other part of the gameplay, which is very important in this, would be the goddamn camera.
Oh, the camera's so important. If you're not good with it, man. And it's very frustrating at the beginning, and there's certain levels, like that level with the clear pipes, where you're just like, it's so annoying!
So Nintendo's very smart because they realize that people are looking at this game and thinking, okay, we just will play it like a platformer, so left to right or up and down and walk around. No.
360, baby. 360.
You have to
and,
go.
like, it's everything.
You have to go in and out. There's a zoom button, which will bring you about like a couple of feet from Toad, so you can get that close-up vibe. You can look through cracks. You can see what you need to collect. So the gameplay is all about collecting 3 diamonds on each level. So you're asking me how long is the game? It's about 70 levels. I call them mini-verses. These are levels that are designed just like Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS. Very small little levels that you get into, but they're all jam-packed with so many secrets, so many coins, so many power-ups, all sorts of things.
And all such different themes, too. There's one theme that we're not allowed to talk about, but there's some really awesome throwbacks in this.
So I will talk about this. Well, Nintendo asked me, and I'll be honest with you guys, they asked me not to spoil much of the game. And when I get review copies, I feel that I should be able to talk about anything I want. But I also respect the fact that they don't want me to spoil these big spoilers. And it's something that, if I felt that you guys would not want to know this because you're playing it, then it's, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to tell you guys because I respect you guys enough. That's what I'm saying. But sometimes there's reviews that come and they're like, can you not say this and this and this? And I'm like, yeah, I won't. And then I do say it because it's a goddamn review and that's the point. But in this case, I'm not going to spoil too much of the story, and some of the things you find in the game are very cool. So if you're a completionist, guess what? You have to go back in every level at least once.
At least.
At least once. And there's 70 levels, so you'll be doing it 140 times the fact that you'll probably die a lot and you'll probably mess up a lot. You'll be going through this maybe between 5 to 700 times.
Whoa.
Through these missions. At least for us, because we're stupid, no book learning.
No book learning.
From After End Media, shout out to Jordan, you're doing a great job over there. He asked, what?
How challenging... Let's read it.
Yeah.
How challenging do the levels get throughout the game?
Dyslexia.
Hello. The first little book, not so hard.
Oh,
then
well, we
from
haven't even
there,
said
they
that.
start to get up. So it comes in books. So there's
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. I'm assuming they're going to keep adding more.
No.
No.
It's DLC. There's 3 chapters in this. So there's 3 episodes, I should say, and 18 chapters in each. You go through them, and then the next book opens,
The first one's kind of warming you up, or like for your children, and then the second book starts to get progressively
Now,
harder.
he's asking how hard does it get. There's goddamn missions in here where you have to not only control the camera and the movement of Toad, but also blow on the controller while you're spinning the camera at the same time, going at like this ridiculous speed over lava on little ramps and stuff, and you're like, oh my god, it really is a hard game, and it gets harder as you go, and the missions, or I should call them levels, get bigger. And sometimes you're in the desert, sometimes you're at like Boo's Palace, which is amazing, and like floors are disappearing. The only way you can actually see the floors, touch the gamepad, and it reveals it on the screen. So I have to say, with 2-player thing, going back to that 2-player question, I like to play with like you holding the gamepad and you're like, okay, touch that enemy. Okay, reveal the floor there. Okay, stop that from rolling. It's stuff like that where you would want to play with 2 players because it does get very tricky.
Especially, yeah, as you go further in.
And sometimes, well, a lot of the times, you can't find some of the diamonds and you're like, fuck this! Motherfucking diamonds!
And then you're gonna be like, it's okay. Check on over there. Oh, there it is.
There it is. So Jordan, the game is challenging. I would say that if you are a young child, the game will be a little tricky. If you're my age, which is 320, it's kind of easy. It's classic Mario design. It's not extremely hard. It's more about the frustration of you dying and then redoing it and fucking up yourself and then redoing it. It's not about, oh, I can't find something. Eventually, you'll find everything. I'm very excited to announce Charging Chucks are back in a Super Mario game. These are the dudes from Super Mario World.
Running football guys.
Yeah, the running football guys with the helmets, and they like smash into shit and knock you over. Those dudes are in this game, and they're very pivotal to a lot of the levels.
They break bricks and walls, and they kill bad guys like these mud troopers. Very, very useful.
Let's move on to the power-ups. You've got your double cherries, which are from Super Mario 3D World.
I love the double cherries. Levels with that are awesome.
But the double cherries turn into 4 into this game, and you have to get on certain platforms which require all 4 of your Toads on that platform to pass the level. It's tricky at times, especially with this camera. Like we said, it's very wonky at times. It does run well, but it's so annoying when you're trying to get 4 toads on this little platform. Then you also have your super mushrooms, your 1-ups. You got P-switches, you got your POW boxes, which you hit while, I haven't even mentioned yet, you're on your cart. And you're wondering, not go-kart, an actual mining cart. Because he's looking for treasure, it fits right into this. And with his mining cart comes something very cool as well, which is called the Super Pickaxe. Super Pickaxe is kind of from Donkey Kong back in the day. Yes, that, Cat.
The music plays and everything.
It's actually pretty cool.
And he breaks through walls.
He breaks through walls, you smash the ground, you smash the enemies. It's really cool to get the Super Pickaxe. But the best levels in this game for me are the karting ones, when it goes to a first-person mode and you turn the Wiimote in the direction you want to shoot your turnips. Let's do 2 more questions here. This one is from
Kyle Toomey. Does its $39.99 price really show, or is it enough content to feel like a full retail price game? Also, is there any replay value? I think 100% it's worth $40. It's great.
Oh, yes it is. So you've got your chapters, obviously, in this game, which are 18 per book. You've got 3 books, and then something opens up, and there's, I'll just say it in this, there's another 18 levels. Has nothing to do with the main story because you complete that after the 3rd one, but it is something cool that ties into the game that this is based on. I have to say, $39 for this game. If you download it, great deal. I would prefer to buy it to have it on my shelf because it is technically the 2nd Toad game. It's something I'd want in my collection if I was a Nintendo fan. It definitely has a ton of replay value. Like I said earlier, you have to go into the missions twice just to figure out what that bonus objective in the mission is. I love this game. I absolutely do love this game. We didn't even talk about how gorgeous it looks at times.
It's very nice.
Freaking ridiculous. So crisp, so sharp. I'm going to give this game an 8.5 out of 10.
Agreed.
I think, holy shit, they nailed all the aspects they need to nail. The reason why it's not a perfect game for me is because I absolutely dislike the way they chopped up the chapters. After you beat the first chapter, this is not a spoiler. It just says, game over, the end. And you're like, that was $40?
Yeah.
Then the 2nd book opens up and you go, oh, okay. Then you get into that, it gets harder, and you're like, okay, it's starting to be worth the money. Then the 3rd book happens, you're like, holy shit, I want to kill somebody. Because it's very difficult at this point, or tedious, I should say. Overall, though, it doesn't jive well in this 3-book order. I wish it was just this long, continuous, or even like Super Mario Brothers, an overhead view map. Or like Mario Galaxy, an overview world, like a hub that you go around. Because it has a lot of influence from Mario Galaxy, because some of the levels are upside down, you have to walk upside down.
Or you go through a tube, you end up on the other side.
Exactly. So, I mean, it has its issues. There's definitely times when I felt that certain parts were extremely easy, and then all of a sudden the next mission was like extremely hard, and it wasn't like very well paced throughout all 70 levels. And it does a really piss poor job of explaining what happens at the end of the game. You kind of get the idea of what's happening, but the bonus levels make no sense to me. And why are they there? I love that they're there, but they're not explained. It's one of those like things where I feel like Nintendo tossed them in at the last second to be like, oh, we should do this. This is a cool idea because it links it up to Mario 3D World, but there's no explanation exactly what the hell you're supposed to do in those missions. Overall, 8.5, a solid 8.5. If you are a fan of puzzle games, this is like and Nintendo, sorry, it's a must-own. It's a must-own.
100%.
Thank you so much for watching the review. It means the world to us for your, the comments below and all that stuff. If you want to support us, follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Anything else you'd like to add?
Toad is awesome. And I can't wait for the next Mario game, and I'm so excited for Yoshi.
Oh, you know what else? I just found out they announced, or no, they didn't announce it, but there's a new 3D Mario in development for the Wii U. Is it Mario Galaxy 3? I fucking hope so. I also forgot to mention, apparently, apparently, this is going to use the amiibos. Have no idea how amiibo will work with this game, but I will let you know on Twitter when I figure that out, because right now, it doesn't work. I put it on there and it's just like me putting an amiibo on the gamepad alone in my room crying. It does nothing. It just makes me feel like shit.